Today is Tuesday, June 16th. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today, out of the Big Book, we are on Chapter 11, A Vision for You. We will read the rest of page 151. Out of the 12 and 12 are on Tradition 9. We'll read page 174 and possibly 175 and finish that tradition today. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope you all are doing well this beautiful, beautiful Tuesday morning, my friends. Life is good over here. Just so happy to wake up sober, happy, joyous, and free today. Normal routine. Cats and dog came into the garage. They're still in here with me. Got on my knees and prayed. And I just thank my higher power for everything he's already done. And for another set of 24 hours. As my cat jumps on a tool shelf. I thank my higher power for my cat. She brings a lot of joy in our lives, and she was a bonus cat. Yeah, I won't bore you with all the details, but my wife was not a cat person originally, and I begged her for one. And then a few months later, this other one, Ray, she shows up at our doorstep almost literally. A storm brought her in. She was maybe 2 weeks old when we found her. So she's our bonus cat, our miracle cat. And she has been, we can carry her around like a baby. Like, she's so used to people and so tame that it's pretty hilarious. But she's also a little crazy too. but anyway, let's go ahead and get to the good stuff. All right, my friends. So if you recall from yesterday's reading out of the Big Book, Chapter 11, A Vision for You, there was a few sentences I could relate to in the last paragraph. There was an instant yearning to enjoy life as we once did, and a heartbreaking obsession that some new miracle of control would enable us to do it. That means to drink responsibly, right? There was always one more attempt and one more failure. So today we'll finish off the page. This is page 151. The less the people tolerated us, the more we withdrew from society, from life itself. As we became subjects of King Alcohol, shivering denizens of his mad realm, the chilling vapor that is loneliness settled down. It thickened, ever becoming blacker. Some of us sought out sordid places, hoping to find understanding, companionship, and approval. Momentarily, we did. Then would come to oblivion and the awful awakening to face the hideous four horsemen. Terror, bewilderment, frustration, despair. Unhappy drinkers who read this page will understand. Now and then, a serious drinker, being dry at the moment, says, I don't miss it at all. Feel better. Work better, have a better time. As ex-problem drinkers, we smile at such a sally. We know our friend is like a boy whistling in the dark to keep up his spirits. He fools himself. Inwardly, he would give anything to take a half a dozen drinks and get away with them. He will presently try the old game again, for he isn't happy about his sobriety. He cannot picture life without alcohol. Someday he will be unable to imagine life either with alcohol or without it. Then he will know loneliness such as few do. He will be at the jumping off place. He will wish for the end. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on Tradition 9. AA as such ought never be organized, but we may create service boards or committees directly responsible to those they serve. And I apologize, guys, I told you wrong. We are just going to be reading the first paragraph of page 174 today. And if you recall from yesterday's reading, basically in the 12 and 12, or in this tradition, they were talking about how we really can't make anybody do anything. There's always just suggestions that we can make, including joining and being a part of a group. So we're on page 174. We'll read the first two paragraphs. At this juncture, we can hear a churchman exclaim, "They're making disobedience a virtue." He is joined by a psychiatrist who says, "Defiant brats. They won't grow up and conform to social usage." The man in the street says, "I don't understand it. They must be nuts." But all these observers have overlooked something unique in Alcoholics Anonymous. Unless each AA member follows to the best of his ability our suggested 12 steps to recovery, he almost certainly signs his own death warrant. His drunkenness and disillusion are not penalties inflicted by people in authority. They result from his personal disobedience to spiritual principles. The same stern threat applies to the group itself. Unless there is approximate conformity to AA's 12 traditions, the group too can deteriorate and die. So we of AA do obey spiritual principles. First, because we must, and ultimately because we love the kind of life such obedience brings. Great suffering and great love are AA's disciplinarians. We need no others. "24 hours a day, June 16th. AA thought for the day. But even faith is not the whole story. There must be service. We must give this thing away if we want to keep it. The Dead Sea has no outlet, and it is stagnant and full of salt. The Sea of Galilee is clear and clean and blue, as the Jordan River carries it out to irrigate the desert. To be of service to other people makes our lives worth living. Does service to others give me a real purpose in life?" Meditation for the day. Seek God early in the day, before he gets crowded out by life's problems, difficulties, or pleasures. In that early, quiet time, gain a calm, strong confidence in the goodness and purpose in the universe. Do not seek God only when the world's struggles prove too much and too many for you to bear and face alone. Seek God early, when you can have a consciousness of God's Spirit in the world. People often only seek God when their difficulties are too great to be surmounted in any other way, forgetting that if they sought God's companionship before they needed it, many of their difficulties would never arise. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may not let God be crowded out by the hurly-burly of life. I pray that I may seek God early and often. Daily Reflection, June 16th. Open-mindedness. We have found that God does not make too hard terms with those who seek Him. To us, the realm of the Spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive, or forbidding to those who earnestly seek. It is open, we believe, to all men. As Bill sees it, page 7. Open-mindedness to the concepts of a higher power can open doors to the Spirit. Often, I find the human spirit in various dogmas and faiths. I can be spiritual in the sharing of myself. The sharing of self joins me to the human race and brings me closer to God as I understand Him. All right, my friends, that concludes today's reading. Some beautiful stuff. Oh my gosh. Well, talk about the 24 hours a day real quick. Having that early time with your higher power. Now, I'm a morning person. I mean, obviously. It is currently 5:13 as I'm recording this, which is actually kind of late for me, but I am a morning person, and I've been for quite some time. And I love sneaking in the garage, even with my fur babies. You know, it's still quiet enough when my cat's not jumping on a bench or something like that. It's quiet enough to where I can just clear my mind. Maybe read a little bit of AA literature, maybe take an inventory of what might have happened the day before, if I haven't done my nightly inventory, and just pray. But also listen. So what does that look like for me, listening? I think for me, it's like when I read a certain passage out of the big book, or, any AA literature, or any recovery literature, and then I just sit there and truly think about it. And maybe ask, God, what is it you're trying to tell me? How can I apply this to my life so that I can be more and more the person you created me to be? Or what is your will for my life today? And I just sit still and think about it. A lot of times the answer will come. And it's like when I get out in the hustle and bustle of everyday life, that's when I can very easily forget to carry out His will for my life and try to do things my way. To be that actor/director, right, that the big book talks about. It says here in the as Bill sees it, to us the realm of the Spirit is broad, roomy, all-inclusive, never exclusive. That's what I love about this program. I think we just talked about it yesterday, that people of all walks of life can still benefit from the fruits of the spiritual program. Everybody's welcome at the table. It is open, we believe, to everyone, right? I don't know if this really relates to it, but I heard a quote from a dear friend of mine who has over 30 years of sobriety. When God put me off the cosmic bus, He got off the bus and sat down beside me on the curb. He said, I'll always be with you, but you won't see me again until you hit your knees and surrender. Then you'll see me everywhere. I have experienced that to be true. When I look around the world, when I look at my life, not just the good things, but the hard character building things, I see my higher power everywhere. Okay, and if from the outside looking in, so say if 16-year-old Rob were to look at 40-year-old Rob, right? And 40-year-old Rob's sitting outside in the woods, staring at the trees and the blue skies and the birds and the squirrels and just his marvelous creation, right? If 16-year-old Rob were to look at 40-year-old Rob, he'd be like, dude, when did you turn into an old man? But you know what 40-year-old Rob would say to 16-year-old Rob? Dude, why are you so insecure? Dude, look around you. Look at this beautiful world that's been created. Why do you care so much about what other people think? Rob, you're a pretty cool guy. You don't have to change for anybody. You're your own unique person. And you're no better or worse than anybody else. You're just a human being. So quit getting in your head so much, man. Enjoy this life. It's a gift. Look around you. The God of your understanding's everywhere, if you're just willing to look for Him. And I say all that to say this. I would have never enjoyed these things. I would have never seen my higher power in everything had I not done some of these steps, these spiritual steps. And as I've said many times, the steps, they're not my higher power, but they've given me an opportunity to experience a much richer and deeper relationship with my higher power than I ever thought possible. Because these steps force me to humble myself, to make a decision to turn my will and my life over to something greater than me, to look within, to confess some of my grosser handicaps, right? To pray and give them to my higher power. to look people in the eye and say, I'm sorry for what I've done. And to live a life of integrity for the rest of my life. And to continue to watch for it, right? And to give it away, to be of service to somebody else. In doing these things, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that bad. I have so much more joy and peace and serenity. I didn't even know what the word serenity meant before this program. But now I can say that I do know what the word means because I've experienced it in my life. Something a drink could never really give me. As I've said a few times, a drink was like a milkshake, right? You chug it and you kind of feel a little gross afterwards. And whereas sobriety's like now for you vegetarians out there, I apologize. I don't mean to offend. But for me, sobriety's like a nice, juicy steak. Medium rare. Oh, it's good stuff. And now I'm getting hungry. All right, my friends, I better get off here, but I hope you all have a great one. If you are sober today, you're a miracle. And if you're not sober, I hope you know that you're a miracle as well. And you're worthy of recovery. And I pray that you get the help that you need today. You don't have to do it alone. There are so many resources out there and support. I just pray that today you'd have the honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness to make that first step toward change. But my friends, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA, Al-Anon, any other sect, NA. I am just a joyful drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, honored to be here today. And if we were given another set of 24 hours, as my cat meows to get out of the garage, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.